Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Happy Friday. We are back. Just sharing this out for people that might be interested in jumping in and
Dad.
watching the show. Hope everybody had a great week so far. We've had a very nice week. We're headed to the shore on Sunday as a family trip. Just a day trip, but I'll take it. Hope everybody made it through that big vicious storm last night. I don't even think we got any thunder or lightning. Some of you may have, but we were safe here. We have a special guest with us tonight. Her name is Jackson Willow Parker. Say hi.
Hi.
She is my granddaughter. And
I saw mine or your house.
yeah, she's decided to join me tonight. She didn't want to stay in the house. So since we didn't have any special guests tonight, she decided she would come out and join us and hang out with us. And yes, she's got beautiful hair. It's so I hope everybody had a great week. Trista, hey girl, how are you doing? Larry, hey. Glad to see you all here, hanging out with me. Tonight, we're going to talk about trust.
How do you do ABCs?
And she's going to do her ABCs for you. Because she's awesome.
And my bell.
And then she's going to show you her bell. But
Storybook.
I had reached out on my page to see what everybody wanted to discuss tonight, and we had one of our followers asked to talk about trust.
My dad.
And we're going to go ahead and, reach out to anybody that may have suggestions or comments. We do have our call-in line, and it is open. It is 267-737-8031. So if you hear something that you want to, talk a little bit more about, please feel free to give us a call. If you just want to pop something into the message, the comments, please do so. And we're going to get started with the show. Tonight I'm going to read the daily reading in my sesh book. This is my, I don't know where I'm at. There I am. This is the sesh book. It's from Narnon. It is a daily reader. And it also has saved my life. Just not knowing who to talk to or how to feel what I'm feeling. So going through this, I needed the support at 3:00 in the morning when I couldn't sleep. So this, I show it all the time. This book is amazing, but I'm not going to read today's reading simply because it's a step reading. So I'm working on doing a step show. So tonight we're going to read tomorrow's. It's called No Expectations. The benefits of having no expectations is that I will rarely be disappointed. I heard this the other day and started to think about the addict. I started to think about the situation in which I find my family in regarding the addict and the drug addiction. I wondered how much of my anxiety is due to my expectations for her, expecting her to give up drugs and to lead a normal life, because that is what I want for her. I know that as a parent, I expect nothing but the best for my children. It pains me to see my once lovely daughter killing herself, and it saddens me to think that soon she might be in the penal system because of her behavior. Her drug addiction has led her to stealing and committing fraud to support her habit. My expectations for her are not faring well in the grand scheme of things. I cannot honestly say that I had any expectations for her while she was growing up. I guess I thought that, like me, she would turn out to be a productive member of society. I do love her so much, and I am beginning to realize there is more to life than love. My mother used to say, every mother monkey loves her baby monkey, but love does not make the world go round. Does this mean that I have given up on my daughter? No, but I have given up on trying to control her through my expectation. Does this mean that I will stop loving her? I do not think so. It is putting some perspective to my situation. And today's thought for today, when I feel there is nothing I can do, I remember that a power greater than myself can change what I cannot. Then I release the addict and my expectations to my higher power and find peace and serenity. And the quote at the end, and in the end, it's not the years in your life that count, it's the life in your years. Abraham Lincoln. So that's today's reading. Just thought I would throw that out there. Hey, Julie, good seeing you. It's been a long time. Liz, we've got Liz in the house, Trista, Donna, Liz, again, Larry, Fred. Hey, Fred, you've been hiding from us lately, having that thing called a life out there. Richard Pappy Parker's watching. He is not with us tonight. He is working hard. He may end up joining us. I'm not sure. Just getting the night started. And let's see. And Jackson has gotten bored and has gone back into the house. And again, we're going to be discussing trust. And Fred, you're so right. Trust is a process. Trust is so easily lost and so hard to get back. So, we have to be mindful of our loved ones just in recovery, because it's going to take a lot for us to gain that trust back for our loved ones. So we have to be mindful that we have to, go at our own pace, because what we're expecting, like it says, expectations, what we expect from our loved ones are totally different from what they expect from us. And they call us out on it. Especially early in their recovery, you don't trust us. You don't trust me. Well, no, depending on what has been gone through during that process, during the use, it's going to take a lot to get us back to where we need to be in our trust. And another sign of trust is watching our loved ones do what they're supposed to be doing. That is so important that we watch for those signs as well. Because if they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, you can build up that trust a lot faster. But it does take time. It takes a lot of time. And we do have to trust the process that it will take. How is everybody out there? Is anybody right now at this point dealing with that situation, the trust situation? I know how hard that is. It's, hard for them as well to get to where they need to be in their recovery. So let's try and be patient if we can. I just want to welcome the new people that are watching for the first time, welcome. This is Recovery Chat. This is open to anybody that is dealing with substance use disorder, families, friends that are living through it with their loved one, whether they are active, whether they are in recovery. It's a crazy journey that we all go on with addiction, substance use disorder, they like to call it. And I understand it when you call it addiction. That's the addict. So trying to get this to be seen as the disease that it is. Some people may not agree with me, but it's the science has proven it is a brain disorder. And with that being said, it is a choice. It does start out as a choice. It starts out by making that choice, but the addiction chooses you. When you start to put the substance in as a choice, the brain kicks in and you can't stop the process. So you have to, just take it as it comes and, look for that recovery. We all need to be patient because it is, a difficult road. The roller coaster, they call it. So getting to the trust, when our loved ones are in their active addiction, they can start out just isolating, just turning into a different person than they had started out from. But they start to lose, the friends, the family, the job. And it gets, it just gets to where you're just going out of control and you don't realize it until it's too late. So we start losing trust when we start to steal and we start to lie and we start to do things that we wouldn't normally do without a substance in our body. That is just so hard to understand when you're first affected with this. So we need to just be patient and try to understand the process and understand that our loved ones do not want to be doing what they're doing. They just don't know how to step back and stop doing what they're doing. So once they come out of treatment, it's really difficult to let them back into the house and, not think to hide your purse, hide your jewelry, hide your credit cards. Like you have a whole different look on life. And I'm blessed that I did not have to go through that. But it is something that is so prominent in this disease. They start doing things that you would never even fathom they would be doing. It's crazy how they can start doing this, and they always say, I'll do this, but I'll never do that. And then unfortunately we get to that point where they're doing that. And I'm never going to put a needle in my arm until the needle's in their arm. I mean, that's just what addiction is. It's just a progressive spiral. So with that, we need to very much so be careful and watch what's going on around us and help and try your very best to help guide them towards finding that help, finding that solution to a better life. So, so we're not always looking at them and wondering what they're doing, why they're doing it, how they're doing it. It's just what it is. And you have so many different avenues that you can help guide them towards a better life than what they're living. Larry wants to know what kind of trust. Trust can be anything. Trust could be, like I said, stealing your money, stealing your jewelry, trusting in, your loved one having an affair. These are things that, happens. These are things that just, they just happen. So we have to be really careful of what we're doing, because we need to be mindful of what's going on and how it's going on. So with that, if you have a comment or you have a suggestion, please feel free to comment and reach out, because this is what this is about. This is a place that I want people to come in here and be free to talk about what's going on in their life. I want them to be able to reach out and feel safe to ask a question, to reach out and look for the support that they need, because there is so much stigma here in this disease, and I want people to come here and feel safe. So if you're not going to be respectful, if you are going to judge people that are trying to stay safe and find hope and find the support that they need, then this is not the place for you. We do not speak about politics, and we don't speak about religion. It's just something there are two topics that get very heated, and I don't want that brought into a place where people are looking to get help and to get support. So be mindful. That's what this page is about. It's about support. It's about finding the help that we need just to get through this. It's a learning tool. When this first started happening with me in my life, I had nowhere to go. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't know who would help. So I thought, let's get out here. Let's show loved ones that they do have a place. They do have a safe place to come and talk and find some suggestions from people that may need that help. So that's what we're here for. And please feel free to share, anything that you might want to discuss about trust, about anything. If you're feeling something other than trust and you need to talk about it, hey, I'm here. This is what it's about. This is, talking about what's bothering you to get it out of out of your system, because the more it sits in there, the more it just eats you alive. And the more it eats you alive, the more difficult it's going to be for you to stay in that zone of recovery or trusting your loved one in their recovery. So please always share this out, because you never know who is listening. You never know who might just need to hear something or to see something that is being discussed in the comments. A lot of times, like we have a caller. Hello, caller.
Hello there, it's Victor Shagapopoulos.
Oh, it's Shagapopoulos. How you doing
Yeah.
tonight?
No, I'm doing fine. Touching on that subject of trust, I guess you know who this is. You know, I can't disguise my voice.
No,
But,
you cannot.
What's that?
Yes, you cannot disguise your voice. I know exactly who we're talking to.
Yeah. So we'll talk about the trust thing. From the alcoholic end back into the family end, because the trust that had to be earned, and it doesn't come overnight. It doesn't come in a couple years. My first time that I, went to rehab and all and got out, and I was almost 3 years without drinking, but I never worked the program. And as far as trust in the family, I was still living at home then, and the trust wasn't really there. And because maybe the way I was acting and I did no work, there was a reason for them to be suspicious of me. And they were right when I relapsed again.
Mm-hmm.
And this time I went, back to rehab, recovery house. I went through all that stuff, doing the steps, going to IOP, going to meetings. But the thing is, like, just because I was doing that and I felt like myself was changing, that didn't bring immediate trust. Even after a couple of years of being sober and people seeing me do the work, doing what I had to do to stay sober, the trust wasn't really there yet. It was nice that I was sober, but there still was that little bit of suspicion there because they seen me fall before.
Right.
And it really just wouldn't just come right out and say, oh, you're doing great, we love you, and all this other stuff. They still had that suspicion. And in the end, you couldn't blame them. But as time went on, and they saw that I was doing the work, and they were kind of convinced. I don't know if they're totally convinced today. It seems that way, but that I have been getting better, and things are getting better as far as a relationship with family and friends and all that.
Right.
And it took some time. Like, it took about 3.5 years before they finally started to really come around and gain more trust in me, because they saw, like, over time that I changed. And I know I changed from the first time because I did think something about it.
Right.
And I worked on myself. And I try like hell to get these people back in my life. Not only just for that reason, but for me to have a better life.
Right.
To me to be sober. Not sitting at home drunk, feeling sorry for myself all the time. Because that's, when I hit the bottom, that was it. That was
Right.
me at home, drinking like crazy. And nobody wanted to talk to me. Nobody called me and say, hey, how you doing? And I don't blame them, because I was a complete, total mess.
Right.
But, so over time, things change. Like, go to my son's wedding, just writes me a letter telling me how proud he is of me. Going to go away next summer. My daughter, my son, and I were going to go to Canada and the Canadian Rockies. And whereas 4+ years ago, they wouldn't even look at me.
Right.
But it's all about me working to get the trust back.
Exactly.
And it's like things, like I said, things are better now. But, as far as being perfect, no, they'll never be perfect. But, I just have to stay my course, and everything else will work itself out.
Right.
So anybody out there, just give it time. If they really work in the program, people will see that in you. Well, they
Right.
saw that in me the second time around. As time went on, and they saw the change in me, but being consistent too about not wanting to drink, not making up excuses, not lying, like all this other stuff just rolling along here.
Right.
And like I said, things are great now. I couldn't be a happier person right now. And if I stick with it, it's only going to get better.
Exactly. And it's amazing, how much you get back from the family when you're doing so well. And that's not to say that you may do something that won't trigger them to think, oh, maybe he's not. There's just some things that may be a trigger. That doesn't mean that, they can't bounce back from that right away. I know that I get triggered with hoodies. That's just my thing. Hoodies makes me so nervous. And you would understand it if, going out and helping those on the street, talking to them. You see a type, you're profiling actually. And, I see people differently when they're riding a bike and wearing a hoodie and a backpack, you're just like, I wonder if, and, there's just certain things that you're used to seeing within that addiction that may come up, and it's totally has nothing to do with the use. It's just a reaction from, noticing that when they were in their active use. So that can be really difficult, but I find myself, because I'm going to my family group and I do have support, that I bounce back so much. Like, you idiot. Like, why would you think that? But I mean, that's what happens. That's where it comes from. You hit those triggers, just like somebody that uses, drinks, whatever. They may see, somebody using, and that triggers them. You may smell alcohol, that may trigger them. So on both sides of the road, we both have our own triggers. It's how we respond to them that keeps us strong and healthy. And staying within a support group is probably the greatest thing that I've ever done in my life, because there's people that have gone through it and know more than I do, and have been through worse than I have. And, you always know that is a possibility. That could be me one day, where they're at. So, I stay in it to keep myself strong and keep myself, doing service, just like those that are active, those that are in recovery. Just being there for people it's just very helpful to keep us straight and narrow. And, eventually the trust comes back. Eventually you start to feel better about things that are going on around you. And, you bounce back when you start having those doubts. So, you're so right. It's amazing. And now you just had a big birthday, and you were able to celebrate with everybody. And, you did say that some of them were drinking, correct?
Oh yeah, there was quite a few drinking there, but
Right.
it didn't bother me.
Right.
Because I'm past that now.
Right.
It's not a trigger for me anymore.
Right.
Plus, everybody knows my situation, so even if I wanted a drink, there was no way I was going to get one there. But the
Right.
thing is, when everybody's gone, I still wouldn't have gotten one.
Right.
That's the important thing.
Right.
And you were talking about like looking at somebody riding a bicycle in a hoodie. Yes, I do that pre-judgmental thing myself too, because I live in Port Richmond and I see what goes on with a few people, and it's amazing how, like, who am I to judge somebody? But I do it. As
Right.
much as I don't want to do it, it's like, I don't like the way that guy looks or that person looks, I know something's up with him.
Right.
And a guy, like you said, riding by on a bicycle with the hood up and looking all ratty and shabby and stuff like that. It's right
Right.
away. And it's like, Larry, shut up. Just worry
Yeah.
about yourself. Don't worry about that what other guy's doing, what
Right.
he looks like, you
Right.
know. But
And
it's
I-
crazy.
It is, and it is, and it is profiling, and it's wrong because it is judging, and I am very big on trying to stay in my own lane and not judging people. But I also look at them like, I wonder if I went over and talked to them, if I could help them, if I could, befriend them and hopefully see them make a change, and then
yeah.
find out that they're just riding their bike because of gas prices today. They're
Yeah.
taking their bike
Yeah.
to work.
Yeah.
As long as
But
they're
do they
not
have
in
to
a
look
hoodie.
like Yeah, don't put your hood down,
Yeah.
I'm
If it's
judging you the wrong way. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to do that too. I like to think I could go up and talk to a person and instantly convert them like I'm some kind of saint or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
like we
It's
walk
like-
on water.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and it's we know where we've been. We know what we've learned, and we just want people to have the life that we live. So
Yeah.
we want them to see how different things can be and how uplifting their lives can be. So I try and I fail every day of the non-judging. I fail all the time. It just really sucks. But, and then again, I say, okay, let's go. Let's stop the judging and, let them.
Yeah. Well, everybody has the good intentions, but you can't save everybody.
Right. Right.
I can't save the world. I can barely save myself. So.
Right. And
Yeah.
and Christina you're right, Lori. They say to say it out loud and mix it with the air, the problem will feel lighter. And do you find that's true? The more you talk, more you journal,
Yep.
the lighter you feel in what might be bothering you or might be, upsetting you at a time.
Yeah. I used to journal a lot in the first couple of years of sobriety. And it's funny, I was at a meeting tonight and it was like, making amends to yourself, and that was a pretty good subject to talk about because to worry about getting trust from everybody else and working on that, you first have to clear your own mind. You have to start making amends to yourself.
Right.
Realize that what you did in the past is in the past.
Right.
Now is now, then was then, now is now. And you start working on yourself. And as you work, improve yourself, it floats away. It's like throwing that stone in the water and the wave comes out. And
Right.
That's just it. That sense comes out and it hits the people and it comes back to you. Just like you dive in a pool, hits the side of the pool and the wave comes back. It's the same way, too.
Right.
And
right.
everybody, you got to keep splashing to get that wave back.
Exactly. And I find that journaling and it is just so rewarding and lightens up just everything that you're going through in your head and helps you sleep
Yep.
at night, get it out, get it in the air. And like she said,
Yep.
like Christina said, get it out and just feel lighter and feel, more, at ease, and a better sleep, because the better you sleep, the better you feel. So, and try not to judge, but, we're all human.
Yeah.
Everybody makes a mistake. Everybody learns from their mistakes, or some people don't. But hey, for the most part, we learn from our mistakes. So we just got to keep doing it. We just got to keep remembering that we need to push on and not worry about, what was. We just need to be worrying about what is and what will be. And,
Yeah.
help the next person. I think that's so important that, I see the service that everybody does. And, when we have these events that come out and people that are in their sobriety and they're doing well and they come out and they help, set up, they help break down, they help, run different stations or tables or whatever it may be. And just to see just how everybody comes together.
Yeah.
Just
got to pass it on.
You do. It's so, I'll tell you, and I'll say it again. I say it every week. If everybody in this world were a 12-step program, this world would be in a much better place. It really would.
Definitely.
And people like, oh, I don't like it because it's all religious. Well, you have to look past that religious part of it and look at it as spiritual. And, that there's somebody bigger than ourselves that are helping us get through what we're going through. And there's somebody higher than us that will help us see the actual trust being earned back and being lived a better life. I mean, that's just my thing.
So, but people have a trouble with the religious end part of it. I make a suggestion. Go hit an agnostic meeting. Like there's Toronto Agnostics. There's one called Oh My God, and there's no religion. It's secular AA, and you don't hear God, but you hear about recovery.
Right.
So if the God thing is like kind of bothering you, you don't have to go in there and share. Just go in and listen. Listen to the people who talk, who share. It's basically the same thing. There's no Our Fathers or Hallelujahs, and all that other stuff. But it's still recovery. It's people struggling and people who are better. And, it's the same thing without the God thing. Right now, I don't want to be cocky or anything, but, just, if you're upset about the God thing, there's no reason not to try another avenue.
Right.
Because there's a lot of ways to get sober, a lot of ways to listen to things like that.
Right.
You just can't cop out with the God thing. Now there's just too many meetings on Zoom and all. And like I said, you don't have to participate. You just listen.
Right.
Listening is the first start,
Right.
Believe me, it's great.
Yeah. And you always share with us, and I appreciate that, and I thank you for sharing those with us as well, because not everybody wants to do a fellowship. So it's nice to see that there's other avenues that they can look into. Now, with that being said, do you know if these different avenues also do for the family of those in addiction? Like you have AA and NA, and the family part has Al-Anon and Nar-Anon.
I think some of them do. But I'm not really sure because I hear other people at meetings speak about that. Now, whether it's non-religious or not, I couldn't tell you because I've really not tuned into that.
Right.
That part of it. I could ask at the next meeting if they have a secular, Al-Anon, Ar-Anon,
Al-Anon or Nar-Anon.
If they have that kind of thing going. If they do, I'll let you know.
Oh yeah, please do share that because I follow a lot of groups on Facebook and Instagram, and there's a lot of families that are not into the fellowships because God is mentioned so much. So I like to be able to share that with them, because I know when I first started with getting into the meetings and the support groups, this is the first book that I had gotten during my first meeting, and it's How Al-Anon Works for Families, Friends of Alcoholics. And I couldn't get into this book because my loved one's drug of choice was heroin. So for me to read this, and it's, staying in the bottle kind of thing, it just I couldn't get past that. But, and then that's when I got the book on Nar-Anon, the Sesh book, and that helped me a great deal with just being geared more to what I needed to hear. So I like to share that with people that aren't into the fellowships, and that's why, the Beyond Addiction was so helpful to me, because again, this could be for anything, really. This could be for, drugs. This could be for alcohol. This could be for, people that are codependent. It just helps in so many ways. So, that's why I like to push that as a resource for families, that, you don't have to just deal with, the AA and the Nar-Anon and Al-Anon. There's other avenues that can help you get what you need without all of the God stuff.
Yeah.
And when you are in it, when you hear God, just throw in there like higher power, just God, higher power. That's, hopefully that can get you through that as well. But yeah, thanks, Larry. You always have something, awesome to share, and just to help people see that there's another way, is awesome. You're always on point there. And I thank you for joining in with us. And
Okay. Well, I'm going to go now, because maybe somebody else wants to call. Plus, my head's getting bigger. It's starting to affect my skull. The compliment. So.
And will we see you tomorrow?
Oh, I hope so.
Yes, I will be there.
Okay. Have a good night, everybody.
You
I'll be
too.
listening.
All right, Larry.
Bye.
And please jump in whenever you see.
Okay.
All right.
See ya.
That's our man, Larry. He's awesome. Always has something, helpful to share with us. And as of tomorrow, actually, I will see Larry Livengren, who is my family parent support group that I attend, that I have been attending. In October will be 6 years. They're starting to get back to their in-person meetings. So right now it's just the first Sunday of our first Saturday of each month. However, because of 4th of July, this month is this Saturday. So if anybody is in the area of Oxford Valley, we are having an in-person support group meeting at the Oxford Valley location on Bristol Oxford Valley Road. And the meeting starts at 11 until 12:30. We're usually there till 1. But please feel free to come out and join us if you need to just find that support and find that. I feel it's better when it's like in person. It's just so much better. Thank God for Zoom. Thank God for Blue Jeans. Thank God for all of these people that are, doing lives on Facebook and what have you, to let people know that, even though our country's been shut down for 1.5 years, there's still ways that we can get the support that we need during this. Hey, Jordan. Hey, Dorothy. I forgot to say hello, Eric. I was jibber-jabbing when you popped in. So welcome, guys. Please share this out if you can. You never know who may need to hear it. So please feel free to share on the page. And we're still talking about trust. I know I go all over the place. I'm kind of always losing track. And, some people are like, oh, it's always the same thing. But, it's substance use disorder. It's, it all comes back to, all sounding the same. But, somebody may need to hear just that. And it's important that we, are here for each other and that we support each other. And just I do see a few people that are new, whether they're still here or not, I'm not really sure. But for the new people that have popped in, some of my resources that I have come in books. And let me start. I did the reading from the Naranan, the Sesh book. That is this book here. And I have a lot of tabs in here because that's just what I do. But you can get this book, the Sesh, Sharing Experience, Strength, and Hope, at any Naranan meeting that is meeting in person, or you can also order this on Amazon. I think it's like $15. The second book that I went to, and I've actually am certified family coach with this particular book. I did take the course on this. It's called Beyond Addiction. It is a book that was written to help people understand their loved one's addiction and help them to, meet them where they are in their addiction, whether they're in recovery, whether they're still active. This book is so helpful, and it's so helpful in so many other ways as well. It just helps you have more of a constructive conversation with whoever you're dealing with in your life, and it's very helpful to those. And again, the How Al-Anon Works for Families, Friends of Alcoholics. This is a really good book, from my understanding, for anybody that is dealing with somebody that is suffering from alcoholism. When I first started in this, I couldn't really grasp into this because of the fact that it is really just for alcohol, and that's not what I was dealing with at the time. This is the latest book, and I cannot say enough for this book. This is the author of this says this is Al-Anon Plus. So this is a combination of Al-Anon and Beyond Addiction at the same time. And after each chapter, it's awesome because it gives you little things that you can work on at the end. And here he comes. Mr. Pappy Parker is in the house. He is finally home from work. But these are resources that you can use if you just need to get the help that you need, especially at 3:00 in the morning when you just don't feel like calling somebody and busting chops, that you're, having a rough time, that you're upset, what am I going to do? How am I going to do it? You can go to these books at any time. But again, a great tool is to do the journaling. Journaling is just so helpful and so helpful to just get that off your chest while you're there. Like Larry says, he did it for a while during the beginning of his journey into recovery. Not sure how many other people are on board with us tonight that may, raise their hand and say, hey, that worked for me too, because it does help a lot of people. And a lot of people aren't into reading or whatever. And, that's fine too. A lot of people go to the meetings because they're not going to read all the, literature. They're not going to read the books because they, number one, don't have time, or they're just, the reading is just not their thing. But there's several movies out there too that are so helpful. Anonymous People is very good to get you started on the journey of understanding addiction. There is a YouTube, if you go on YouTube, And let me find it for you, because this one is so awesome. And it's through the DARA program. So if you look up DARA, DARA, first I guess I have to learn. And it's, I have to remember what it stands for, but I don't remember what it stands for. But if you go into YouTube and you type in D.A.R.A. Narcan training, Dave Fialco, you'll get some amazing information. This is such an awesome thing to watch. It's 40 minutes, 42 seconds, but it is an awesome video to watch. I'm going to try and pop it into the feed here. But he does an entire YouTube on teaching you about the how it hits the brain, how it hits your receptors. It tells you how to use Narcan and such. So it is in there. I guess I can pin it. Does it say pin? It says pin up there, but I don't think it says pin in here. So, but anyway, it's in there. And anybody that you know that is going through this situation for the first time, this is such a helpful tool for them. I myself have seen Dave Fialco do Narcan training 11 times, and he just has a way to make you understand the brain part of this. So why they're calling it a disease and not just a choice and, a bad choice. So I highly recommend checking that out. They're just some of the things that I find helpful to the newcomers that are maybe in the feed still. Very helpful. But anyway, is there anything out there anybody wants to talk about? Anybody needs to get off their chest? Again, we are here until 10:30. And you can call in at 267-737-8031. So, come on, guys. Give me some inspiration. Share with me. Pop in a comment. Give us a call. We're here. We're listening. We're always listening. We're always here to help anybody that is in need of help. The number that I just provided you, you can call me on that number anytime. I will get back to you. You can text that number. You can call that number. If you're looking for resources, I can help you with those resources. If I don't have a resource in your area, I will reach out to people that may help me to get you the information that you need. So I hope nobody really got affected by that storm, that hurricane that was coming up on the coast in Florida. By the time it got here, it broke up pretty good. So we did get a lot of rain. But that was about it. Okay, guys. Give me something. Hey, Bob. How you doing? Bob is going to be stepping in for me on the 23rd with Pappy if he's home in time. I will be away for the day, so I will not be back in time for the show. So Bob's going to jump in. Bob actually is the moderator of our family parent group at Living Grin. We are training him very well. He's doing awesome as a moderator, and he works for Living Grin. And, you know, that group has saved my life. You know, the actual therapist that actually started the parent group always makes me remember that I saved myself, but it was through Living Grin that I found the tools that I needed to get well, and not get sick over, you know, worrying about my loved ones. So after she left, Bob took the reins and has been running with it and is doing amazing. And just giving people a place to feel, you know, like they're not alone. That's, you know, when this hits you in the beginning, for the new people that are here, this may be the first time you're finding out a loved one is struggling. There's nothing better in the world than being with a group of people that are affected the same way you are, and having that chance to talk about it and to get the suggestions that are out there. And Bob, yes, late night cooking with Pappy and Bob after the show. Fried chicken and waffles. There you go. I'm in. And when I get home, I'll be wanting some too. So make sure you do a good job. I have the fryer all ready to go. Yes, we do give Bob a little sardine. We crack open that can and twirl it back, and we give him a little sardine because he's doing really good at listening to what the group needs from him, and he gives us what we need to hear. So that's, you know, awesome. That's what a support group is for. So I love that we have, you know, this family. And when we were meeting before COVID, we had a great group of people. We have had up to 50 people at one time in a meeting. And it's funny because you go into a meeting, you're like, oh, I can't walk in there. What if my neighbor's there? Hey, there you go. There's support. There's support outside of your family, your friends that can help you and can be there for you, for each other, actually. So I know Bob and John both bring a lot of great support for us, great suggestions, and, you know, I just love being part of that group, and I'll always be part of that group because it's just so helpful to the parents. And I can't wait to see you tomorrow, Bob, because I have a big question for you that you need to take to the big guys. But Eric, I have a question for you. If I was to buy a new refrigerator, what would you say I should be looking at? What brand? Just in case. We never know. My ice maker, my water maker, my water thing is really jacked up. So I'm walking on eggshells waiting for it to go, and I pray that it doesn't. So, oh, thanks, Bob, but it's you and John that keep it going, and Larry, his support in that is so awesome, because we've never had somebody in recovery at our meetings like we do today. Since COVID, it's opened up a different feel, and to be able to sit there and talk about what you're going through or what you've been through, and actually have somebody like Larry that is in recovery and has, done the relapse and has done the program and is working the program strongly today. To hear that right there is just amazing. It's so helpful. That's why I like that doing what I'm doing, because this page is opened up to family members that are going through maybe just finding out that their loved one is having a problem, finding out that a friend is having a problem, that people that are in recovery. The beginning of this, when I started doing this, we actually had 2 people that were on the verge of relapse, and they watched the show and actually reached out to me and said, because of this show, they ended up going to a meeting and they're doing well. I haven't heard back from them, so I don't know if it's still the same. So hopefully they're still doing it, and hopefully they are still watching the show, and I don't see them popping up in here, but hopefully that's, it's helping somebody. The thing that I loved most about the support group through Live and Grin, it's a crosstalk group. It's not a Al-Anon or a Nar-Anon where you read from the book and you pretty much just listen and it's all about yourself. The family parent group you can go to and you can ask questions, and people will give you suggestions. They will tell you what they've done, what worked for them, what didn't work for them. And it's up to you to decide, do I want to, take that suggestion? So either you take the suggestion or you leave it behind. If the suggestions you do take don't work, then you go back and you grab another suggestion. So that's why I like this group so much. But once a month, they would actually have our family parent group, all the parents and family members and friends would sit on one side of the room. And a small portion of the other side of the room, they would bring in actual patients that were in rehab, that are in rehab, that I don't know how many weeks they're in. They've already gone through detox. They've already done maybe a few weeks of rehab, and they're getting ready to go home. But they come in and they don't even get told, like, oh, this is where you're going. You're going to be with families members. And they just come over. And for them to hear what we're going through during their, runs, we also have a speaker that is in long term. So after they share their story, it's open for suggestions, questions, and it's just it's such a neat different feel to hear somebody in early recovery, like very early, like they haven't even left rehab, and what they've been through and what they're going through. It's just such a great feel. And for those that are in the rehab and getting ready to leave, to hear that maybe a recovery house might work better for them than going home to their people, places, and things. It's a great feel. It's a great, just a great feeling and a great way to connect with and understand addiction. So, and Eric, he always has something. Him and Larry are always awesome. Trista's always awesome. She's always adding and sharing. So he apparently is telling me the best option for a refrigerator is one that gets cold and doesn't run fast. I'm going to look for that brand and see where I can get that one. I wish you lived closer too, Eric. We could have some fun. We could, you, me, and Pappy, we could go out on the road and do all kinds of crazy stuff. Eric also says, just replace the word God with proper inner spirit. Yes. That's a good one. I like that. And we need to remember that too, because, a lot of the programs are, the God in it all the time. So, yeah, we need to know that there's other things we can replace that with just to get us where we need to be. Yes, so right, Eric. I know that, when I was younger, my grandparents would always take us to church. And then, my parents weren't, real big into the church thing. Although my mom never missed a day of Sunday school, never missed a day of church before she got married. So, that was just weird. They weren't, the church going people, and we weren't, and today, I have, reconnected with my spiritual awakening, and God is my, higher power. And I still don't go to church, unfortunately. I love going to church. I love the feel of the church. But it's way too early in the morning for me. I'm just not a morning person. So, but yeah, you do kind of get away from that. And some people, don't believe in it at all. But I found that doing these meetings and doing the readings of Naranon, Al-Anon, and such, I have gotten back into my spiritual awakening. So, I'm trying to be a better person. I'm trying to, do service and help the other person, and trying very hard not to be judgmental. Just this year has been a struggle for everybody, I think. And hopefully we can get past that. Feed what you need. Yes, absolutely. Some of us just don't realize the need of finding that higher power. It's an awesome feeling when you do find it. It's uplifting. I don't know about you guys, but I find it very uplifting to, be part of this, to be part of this recovery world. I love going to the meetings. I love meeting people that are fresh into this and showing them that there is hope, and showing those that are just like, I don't have the stories that people do. I don't have the 15 years, countless rehabs and countless detoxes, and I don't have all of that. So, I like to share with them that there is hope, because I'm in the meetings and I see the hope. I see people that have, their story is the 15, rehabs, the 15 relapses, and that they're living a life in recovery, and they are much better people than they were before even dabbling in this substance. So, I just love being here, and I love going to the events and seeing people that are, it is very liberating, Eric, it very much so is, and going to the events and seeing everybody coming together. I remember when this first happened, when I first found out about my loved one being where they were in their addiction, and going through the class to see your loved one, like, this is not my thing, this is their thing. Like, they need to do this, not me. And I go into it, and like, how much I got out of it, how much better I feel about myself and about the people around me by doing this, by going into this. So, this is awesome. This is an awesome program. But just to show them that there is a better way is so awesome. And to meet people in the same situation that you are, and feeding off of each other, if your loved one is still not ready for the recovery process, sharing with them what I went through, what I did for myself to get myself stronger and better. There's just so much going on. For Squab Night, what is Squab Night? I'm sorry, but I'm assuming it's the fish thing. But you still have your friends from before this affected your life, but then you have a whole other set of friends that are always there for you, always there to help you if you need it. So we just had a thing for Livingren. They had the Ride for Recovery that went very well, and we did a full day at the park. It was a hot one, but everybody came together. People that were running tables, they had people come out to support them as well. We had speakers. Fred and I were both speakers at the event, and it was just nice to hear people that have gone through it and have been able to just find the strength in themselves to do better for themselves and for their families and for their loved ones, and to watch people that I may have seen out on the street coming together and being in a clean, sober environment, and just coming together and sitting and chatting and eating whatever. There's so much strength in recovery, whether you're the family member, whether you're the one in recovery from some substance use. So okay, guys, we have 15 minutes left. Is there anything that you need to talk about, want to talk about? We're here, we're listening. Eric, I hope you're feeling a little bit better, at least. Eric was feeling a little under the weather, so I'm hoping he's doing better. He would have called in, but he'll be hacking in our ears if he does. So maybe next week he can pop in and call in. So anybody have anything that they can't have to get off of their chest, and they need some guidance, they need some suggestions? Anybody? Come on. We're here and we're listening. Da 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 da. Richard has some new music tonight, and unfortunately it's metal, so I happen to like metal, so I also like disco and country. I like all music, actually. And I thought we would have Jackson out here much longer, but she went in. Okay, I'm talking to myself now. You know what? I will go to my little Naranon book. I don't know about this one. Here's another thing that I got that was very helpful to me in the beginning of my recovery, my process of that. And it's a little bookmarker that I use for all my books, but it's called Just for Today. And again, this is from the Al-Anon Family Group headquarters, but every day it just has a little something on here. Just for today, I will have a program. I may not follow it exactly, but I will have it. I will save myself from 2 pests, hurry and indecision. Just for today, I will have a quiet half hour all by myself and relax during this half hour. Sometime I will try to get a better perspective of my life. Just for today, I will be unafraid, especially I will not be afraid to enjoy what is beautiful and to believe that as I give to the world, so the world will give to me. Oh, Bee Gees. I love Bee Gees. My favorite. Just for today, I will try to live through this day only and not tackle all my problems at once. I can do something for 12 hours that would appall me if I felt that I had to keep it up for a lifetime. Just for today, I will be happy. This assumes to be true what Abraham Lincoln said, that most folks are as happy as they make up their minds to be. Just for today, I will adjust myself to what is and not try to adjust everything to my own desires. I will take my luck as it comes and fit myself to it. Just for today, I will try to strengthen my mind. I will study. I will learn something useful. I will not be a mental loafer. I will read something that requires effort, thought, and concentration. Just for today, I will exercise my soul in 3 ways. I will do somebody a good turn and not get found out. If anybody knows of it, it will not count. I will do at least 2 things I don't want to do just for exercise. I will not show anyone that my feelings are hurt. They may be hurt, but today I will not show it. Just for today, this is the last one. I will be agreeable. I will look as well as I can, dress becomingly, keep my voice low, be courteous, criticize not one bit. I won't find fault with anything, nor try to improve or regulate anybody but myself. So that's from Al-Anon, and it's a great little bookmark, and I have it on my refrigerator, and I have it on my bedside as well. So a great little tool that I really like to look back on often and just, help me through the day, because that's important that we keep our mind active, so we're not always, looking for fault or looking for problems to arise. We don't want that at all in our life. We just want to be happy. We want to be happy for ourselves, for our loved ones. I don't know where Trista is. She usually calls in, but she's not calling in tonight. I don't know why. Trista is awesome. She's our orange blossom now. She used to be our spud. She's from Idaho. So acceptance is the key to all my problems for the day. Yes, it is, absolutely accepting today that my refrigerator will start working properly. Here's hoping. So what else? Richard Pappy Parker, I'm sure he's watching. Can't believe he hasn't sent in a joke or anything. It was too warm for him out here, so he went into the house to eat because he did work all day today. So there's that. What else can I help anybody with today? Did everybody get something out of trust? I hope. I'm not used to being by myself, so I'm running out of things to say and talk about. So come on. Come on, people. Nope, he's not sick. He's hungry. He's hot. It was a hot one again today. And Sunday we're doing a family day down at the shore. And in Pennsylvania we call it down the shore, and in Jersey down the shore. We're not going to the beach. We're not going to the ocean. We're going down the shore. And it's going to be 77, no clouds, so that'll be awesome. We're taking both babes with us. And just have a good day. We'll probably go up on the boardwalk before we leave and take a walk, check out the stores. Larry, thank you. I'm glad you get something out of the show. I get something out of from everybody. They're just so helpful to me. Everybody has such awesome things to share. So hopefully I can find a speaker next week that will come, a guest that will come on the show and sit with me and chat with me. Bob will be here on the 23rd. And hopefully Rich will be home in time to sit with them as well. Just going through some messages here. But let's see. Bob will be here in 2 weeks. So the 16th, I'll try and find somebody to come in. I do know that we're going to have a really great show. I will PM you when the show's over there, Eric. Our two speakers from 2 weeks ago will be back with us. Trace and her sister will be back, Renee, and we're going to discuss the children and the effects that addiction has on the children. And not exactly sure when they can come back to do the show, but hopefully soon. And still waiting for Irvin and Stephanie to come back and chat with us about relationships after recovery. But maybe Christina can pop in with me. I know next Friday is bad for her, but no, Paps is not on vocals tonight. Paps is at the kitchen table chowing down on some shrimp and cucumber salad and corn on the cob, I believe. So, no, Paps won't be on vocals tonight. Just my boy. He has new music tonight. We were listening to it a little earlier before the show started, so he'll probably come out of this with us, and it is metal, so enjoy the show. He is working on a project. How's the other project going? Slow. So he's got another project that he's working on. So hopefully that will be done soon. Come on over, Lara. There should be plenty. I hope that everybody had a good week. I hope everybody has a good week coming because it's been hot. It's been a hot summer so far. Hopefully, Sunday is good for us. It's supposed to be 77 and no clouds, so we should have a good day down the shore. Hopefully, it's a sea breeze and not a land breeze. And, tomorrow we'll be meeting in person, so I'm excited for that. I always like to be in the in-person meetings. I can't wait till it opens back up and we can start meeting in person again. That does not mean I will stop doing this show. We'll probably still be doing this show until can't talk. But I just want to say thank you to everybody that popped in tonight. Please check out my page. Please share this out because you never know who may need to hear something that may have been discussed this evening or commented on. And everybody be safe. Everybody reach out to me at 267-737-8031 if you have anything bothering you or upsetting you or needing some support. I am here. I am always listening. And everybody have a safe week. We will see you next Friday here. And Fred, always a pleasure. Hopefully you can come back and chat with us. If anybody has a suggestion for next week, in case I do not have a guest speaker, please give me a shout out and I will be happy to discuss what we can do a topic on. And everybody have a safe week and we will see you here next Friday. Peace out, everybody.